Welcome everyone to Amnesia: The Dark Descent, a horror game made by Fractal Studios. I think. It's been a long time since I actually played this. Last time I actually played this completely was in 2011. So I forgot most of the stuff that I'm going to face, I think. Yeah, I possibly forgot most of the stuff. So yeah, 4 years later I'm coming back to this game. You're all going to enjoy me screaming if I end up doing that. Wow, that was
Don't forget, some things mustn't be forgotten. The shadow hunting me. I must hurry. My name is Daniel. I live in London at Mayfair. What have I done? This is crazy. Don't forget. Don't forget. I must stop him. Focus. My name is... I am Daniel.
Now, I did actually test the game out earlier, just to see if this recording will work. I didn't go too far, just up to the next area, I want to say. I was getting creeped out with everything that was happening, though, so... yeah, I actually am going to get scared. Let's see. Let me get the tinderbox here. Tinderboxes are your matches. You can only use them to light up torches, candles, all that stuff. And here's the weird part. They all come in those little cans. But wait. So, yeah, these tinderboxes come in cans, and they're pretty much matches. But the one thing I've always wondered is, why is there always only one? Why one match in each of these cans? Yeah, I did actually kind of spoil myself when I tested this out earlier. But don't worry, it's just this beginning part. After that, you'll likely start hearing me freak out a bit. But to those who are technically new, tinderboxes are your matches. You can also, to open and close doors, you actually have to hold down the mouse button, you have to... man. Yeah. You hold down the primary mouse button to open and close doors. You pretty much use it for everything, even picking these things up. Right-clicking when you're holding something throws it. You are also supposed to follow this blood. There is taking up here. Yeah, that's another thing about this game. You actually do have, you know, I'm going to just... You have two health bars here, your actual health and your sanity. whenever you see anything weird like that, your sanity drops. I've never actually had... I don't think I've actually lost my sanity loss. But, I think you can't lose by that. I've never done it because... God damn, it was close during my first playthrough. The other children cheered him on, his name voiced in a steadily rising pace, urging him to do it. Am I really doing this? The young boy thought, and struck his victim with a rock. I'm going to try to read those as fast as I can. Tinderbox in action. Like I was saying, I'm going to try and read those as fast as I could, but you never know. I'm not gonna lie, that still unnerves me. Also forgot to mention, you can actually lean with Q&E. Your best friends are gonna be Q&E. And we've got a lantern. So in case you want to be really stingy, just hold up the old lantern. And I'm sorry to say, everyone, it's got a life. Tinder boxes, please. I think there's one here. Yes, there is.
August 1839. I wish I could ask how much you remember. I don't know if there will be anything left after I consume this drink. Don't be afraid, Daniel. I can't tell you why, but know this. I choose to forget. Try to find comfort and strength in that fact. There is a purpose. You are my final effort to put things right. God willing, the name Alexander of Brandenburg still invokes bitter anger in you. If not, this will sound horrible. Go to the inner sanctum, find Alexander, and kill him. His body is old and weak, and yours, young and strong. He will be no match for you. One last thing. A shadow is following you. It's a living nightmare, breaking down reality. I have tried everything, and there is no way to fight back. You need to escape it as long as you can. Redeem us both, Daniel. Descend into the darkness where Alexander waits and murder him. Your former self, Daniel.
So there's our objective for this game. We're gonna kill an old guy. I'm not gonna lie, during the test playthrough I actually forgot where I was supposed to go from here. But there is a switch handle here. You pull it down and we open the secret passageway out. The door slammed shut behind him, and he knew he would never again see the old tailor at Berkeley Square. Another lone soul in London seemed appropriate somehow. Anytime you see the screen flash blue like that, you've done, you're pretty much you've completed the puzzle. That also restores your sanity. So if your sanity is low, get some progress done.
Alexander, is it inside the castle?
In a manner of speaking. Come, bring the lamp. You've been to the refinery, have you not?
I don't believe I have. Is it connected to the... what did you call it?
The inner sanctum. My most precious chamber, Daniel. And it lies well beyond the refinery. In fact, it lies beneath the very stone of Brennenburg.
These flashes we're having, we're actually remembering bits of the past that we've tried to forget. There was something on the tip of my tongue that I forgot that I wanted to mention. I can't remember. Let's say, but you know what? No, you know what? Screw this. I'm not gonna do this. Let's play. Ugh. I'm already freaking out a bit now. And this is actually where I stopped earlier today. So let's go on with the Let's Play. So let's go down into the basement. It's tough, and it is tough and pliant. It can't be torn by hand or tools. And we've got some other memoirs. Some sort of organic tissue blocks to a path to the refinery. Can it be dissolved? You'll get these things written down in the memoirs. That's where, pretty much where you're going to get your little quests. Is that really... Okay, if that happens again, I'm sorry. I don't know what's causing it. It showed up in the test, recording I did earlier. I don't know what's up with that. If I remember correctly, the refinery is down here. The wine cellar and the laboratory. Let's go to the wine cellar, everyone. It is blocked and it will not open without a key. Find a key to the wine cellar. Okay, so laboratorium it is. He fell to the kitchen floor. Tears were beginning to well in his eyes as he received the first kick in his stomach. Hazel remained hidden in fear she too would be punished. You know, I'm just gonna keep using the lantern for right now. This is one of those games.
That fragrance. Damascus rose.
I was going to say this is one of those games where you kind of need a webcam, but I actually don't have one. Nothing?
There should be more coop rack. Let me see. And one part Aquaforce.
Alright, what's this? Early alchemy experiment. This is my third attempt to produce artificial vitae. The former compounds lack the potency I need, but I sense them close. Calamine and orpiment are a given, and the cuprite binds them well. This time I will attempt Aqua Regia instead of Aqua Fortis, in hope it will produce an even more stable, produce a more even solution. Wow, I was about to say even more potent for some reason. The experiment was unsuccessful. The solution is highly acid. It should be acidic, I think, and proves impractical to put into any use except as a detergent. Organic tissue reacts especially violently to the solution and should be handled with the greatest care. I might be able to use the recipe, but I'm not losing hope that I will find an alchemic solution to my predicament. So we know that this will actually dissolve that wall. Anything else in here? One day I will return. If it wasn't for the thought of you, my love, I wouldn't be able to go on. When I find myself doing terrible things, I take comfort in you. As long as I am able to think of you and long for a life together, I know I'm better than the others. I weep for them. They lust for power without restraint, where I only crave fair judgment and a safe return. Okay, that actually freaked me out a little. The main reason I'm actually recording this too is it's been so long since I played it. I wanted to come back to it because I also have the sequel, and I thought might as well just do the first one just to go back to it. Chemical relocation. The lack of a chimney to properly vent the fumes from my most recent experiments has taken its toll on many of my less stable ingredients in storage. Some seem unaffected, but many are stained by the fumes and will be difficult to salvage. I shall do what I can and move them to the wine cellar. Alright, so we actually do need a key for the wine cellar. Okay, 4 different chemicals. Double click this and there it is. But yeah, I need to find those chemicals now. Ugh. And I'm out of oil. A fragrant taste of rose lingered in his mouth. Turkish delights, he thought, just like the ones at the consulate of... Oh, I missed the rest. Yeah, I'll try to read everything. Anything? Okay, won't budge. I'll try to read those loading screens as fast as I can. Blocked. Okay, so we don't have the wine cellar key, and we know it's not going to be back there. May as well. So the archive is next. Traveling to Dover meant going through Canterbury. He made sure to pay a visit to avoid the sense of guilt connected with neglect of family. So we need to find the key to the wine cellar. Wilhelm's contract. I hereby offer my full attention and services to Alexander, Baron of Brennenburg. This contract will reign over for a total of 3 years, when my freedom shall return to me. In addition, Alexander, Baron of Brennenburg, is to recommend my services at the Prussian royal court and within the sanctum of the Order of the Black Eagle. May no man break this seal. Wilhelm, House of Garrick. see. Tinderbox? Yes. Nothing. I won't lie, I'm very stingy with the oil, so I don't like it, but I'm going to be running around without oil without the oil with me. Or without the lantern out, I mean. Nothing.
16th of May, 1839. The unflinching African sun has continued to plague our expedition, making it impossible to dig until dusk. How Professor Herbert managed to find the location in these vast plains of nothingness remains a mystery to me. When I asked him about the tomb again, he told me about the legend of Tin Hanan, the mother of us all. An interesting story in its own right, but I can't help feeling there's more. Later that evening, we uncovered a passage beneath the dunes leading to a sand-covered stone structure. The professor was confident it was the tomb we sought and ordered the others to clear the way late into the dark, cold night. Tomorrow, I shall lead the men into the ancient structure, hoping to reach the burial chamber. No matter what the professor is keeping from me, the dig should yield something interesting to take back to London and the British Museum.
Okay, so now we know Daniel was involved in a dig. So he must be here if they actually found something. Nothing. Pretend I didn't see that.
"17th of May, 1839. My hands tremble as I write. I feel a need to document my tribulation, for I fear that my memory will fail me if I linger. Today, I took some men and ventured into the dark, ancient passage we uncovered. Our torches burned faintly in the murky air as we slowly made our way underground. The men were superstitious and fearful. They argued loudly, and I felt their strange language getting to me. I mustered my strength and yelled at them to continue down the slopes and broken steps. The crudely carved passage confused me. It looked much older than the 4th century structure we had expected. The twisting path emerged into a great antechamber. The walls were lined with statues unlike any I'd ever seen. Despite their unearthly quality, I felt a strange familiarity toward them, which haunts me still. At the far end of the chamber, a great slab of stone sealed off whatever lay ahead. I gave the order to raise it, and as I pushed through the narrow space, the heavy stone suddenly dropped, sealing me inside. I was trapped.
Perfect way to end that diary sequence. Now, let's get out of here. Ugh. Okay, never mind. More tombs. Ugh. And I wasn't going to do it earlier, but I am technically playing. It's passing dusk right now, so it's getting dark now. And Jesus Christ, I'm actually going for 2-hour-long segments here. Ugh. And study. I clearly remember never playing this game at night, just because it actually kind of did freak me out. Locked. Oh, fucking. This thing closed. Can I play it? That's the way back out. How's my sanity? Head pounding, hands shaking, okay. There are also little restoration potions you can get that do improve sanity and health. Just don't remember where they are right now. More oil. Yeah, just keep using the oil. I normally don't do that. Oh, itching nose. Because I'm very stingy, but I'm not remembering this game well right now. And I'm actually getting a little freaked out. I'm trapped, yay! Okay, so we need something to be able to break through there. Okay, what?
17th of May, 1839. After pounding the unforgiving stone wall for what seemed like an eternity, I realized it was hopeless. I was trapped. I fell to the ground, gasping for air, trying to focus. That's when I saw a faint blue shimmer. My weakened body was heavy to carry, but I managed to push myself toward the enchanting light.
I kind of do like that you can actually interact.
It was waiting for me. Enclosed in dark nothingness, I felt myself drawn to the mystic light. I reached out, closing it in my hands. The faint glow escaped my fingers and began to spark brightly and spirit me away, unlocking alien memories of spiraling towers, endless deserts, and impossible geometry. The next thing I can remember is the grating sound of stone being lifted, the voices of the Arabs pulling me to safety, and grasped firmly in my hands was the broken pieces of a most peculiar relic.
Okay, so we've picked up an orb. Or broken pieces of the orb when we were rescued. Okay. Kingdom of Prussia, Central Prussia. Let's keep going.
Much of the castle is old and hasn't been tended to for centuries. When the shadow arrives, it won't take long until things start falling apart.
We're just buying time anyway. Let's do what we can.
There isn't much to be done about the walls. We should reinforce weak structures. The ground will tremble and there's a risk everything will cave in on us, especially downstairs. Here, and there. Let's get the servants working on it.
Alright. So whatever this shadow is, it's also affecting this place around us. container, box, tinder box.